Welcome back to another episode of Max Level Video Games, where me and show you guys the ins, the outs, and all abouts of owning your own retro video game store. We're getting back to putting this PS4 back together and giving it to the customer. This was a deep cleaning that we needed to do on this thing, and its thermal paste was bad. Let me show you a picture. So that means that PS4 has definitely been sitting for a while, never been opened, never been cleaned. Now it's going to be running a lot better though. 12:30 pretty much. PS4 is all done. Just testing it. Got a Pokemon Red that doesn't look super great on the back, but it's also not reading, which isn't a good thing. Turn it on. It shows the logo. Nothing else. So let's take it apart and see what's going on. I don't have hope for this thing. Oof. The battery needs to be taken out. Yeah, great. Yummy. Oh no, it's getting worse. This thing has been in here forever. Oh man. Alright, so we're looking at the motherboard, and the area I'm looking at is behind right over here. That's pretty rough. And that is right up here on this chip. I think these two right here that go to... Oh, they might go to nothing, so maybe it doesn't matter. Alright, so I'm just going to take a look at it and then... Yeah, that trace right there is completely gone, and it goes all the way actually up to... Oh, it's test pad, so... This one goes to test pad 2. Let's see where it goes, just to make sure it doesn't go into anywhere important. If it doesn't go into anywhere important, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm pretty sure these are just test pads. Yeah, these go underneath the chip. Don't even know if they... I don't think they do anything. So I'm probably going to reflow most of the stuff in here. But let's clean... I clean this off as best as I can right now. Most of this has been sitting for a while. I don't see corrosion on anywhere that much. Some of these legs might be pretty rough, and some of these caps are probably... What I'm going to do is just clean these pads off really quick. Get them really clean and then test it and then go from there. Alright, I'm just going to try this really quick. And it's all jarbled, almost there. So we're going to reflow it. Which means I'm just going to go and reflow and reconnect. Make good solder joints on all the chips, all the caps. And then test it again. Alright, we went ahead and reflowed all those chips, all the capacitors, and hopefully this works. Alright, moment of truth, we got it in. Let's see if it loads. Still not loading. Alright, we got the jumper wire now going. Let's clean it up a bit. So I should have continuity from here to there. There it goes. Question is which leg this goes to. I have no clue. This one here and here, so it travels quite far to get right here. So let's test it. Alright, get the game in, turn it on. Still no Nintendo. Clean it up just to make sure, but that means there's more problems than that. Try it one more time. Nope, still nothing. Alright, back to fixing the board. Alright, I'm mostly looking around the battery right now because that's where most of the corrosion happened that was in here. And I did find this right here. It's supposed to go here. It's supposed to connect somewhere over here. That's connected. Let's see if it's connected to anything else. Alright, I've checked everything on this board, and everything checks out. All the pins are connected to all the chips. So I'm just going to continue. Maybe it's just dirty. Oh! Nice, it loaded. Let's make sure Professor Oak looks like Professor Oak. Uh-oh. It loaded, but that's as far as it got. Alright, cool. I'm going to continue cleaning it then. So I'm getting a lot of inconsistencies with this thing, that sometimes it loads and sometimes doesn't. I'm going to take this chip off and take a look underneath here. Maybe one of these connectors is working but not working very well, so let's find out. Let's take a look. So I see some points right here that got some corrosion in them. We'll clean that up. We might have like a resistance issue that's just not quite right. I'll clean these out. Make sure they're all, I mean, we know they're connected, but see if we can clean it out and get it better. I took off the chip on this side, and it doesn't look great underneath it. Looks pretty rough. Lots of corrosion. So I'm going to clean up under here and see if I notice anything really bad, but it didn't look pretty. Yeah, this whole trace is gone right there. That was underneath the, look at the underneath of it. It's bad. Okay. Let's see if we can clean it up. Hopefully there's no damage to the chip and everything works, but there's one of our traces that isn't working right there. There's 100% gone. Okay. Alright, as you can see, I fixed this connection that's right here. And I fixed that trace, and that trace comes all the way up to here and then connects to this chip up here underneath it. So now that there's continuity going through that test point all the way to here, it's right. It's right there. So it comes underneath the chip and connects there. Now that's all connected. I'm going to go ahead and put the chip back on. All right, we got the chip back in. We got battery back in. We got the case back on. And it's going to be the final test to see if we did a thing with the other thing. Nice. No Nintendo logo. I put that chip right there. I put it on backwards. Or upside down. Wrong way. Alright, moment of truth. Let's try this again. Oh no. This thing is not the right thing. That's a different thing. Where's the other thing? There's that thing. Alright, this Pokemon Red's still giving me issues. It's just getting stuck or hung up still on Nintendo. I'm going to take the ROM out and swap the ROMs onto this Japanese Pokemon Crystal, just to verify that the ROM is not a problem. There is definitely still something on this motherboard that's causing us issues. That's not going to work, considering this is a standard Game Boy and this is a Game Boy Color game, so that's not going to work. Alright, we got this cheap All-Star Challenge that we'll go ahead and take out. I don't know if this will work just to boot it, or if it's going to boot either way, because this is a smaller... This is going great. Alright, I'm just going to use this Pokemon Yellow. It's not my original. That I accidentally gave away a long time ago, but we're just going to use this motherboard, hot swap the RAM, see if the RAM's still good, And if it is, we know there's something else going on. Alright, I got the ROM for Pokemon Red on here. Let's go ahead and put it in the case and test it out. Oh, it's a little hot. Oh, wait. It's hot. Ow. Alright, it should be cool enough. Let's test it out. Alright, we got it in. Let's turn it on. Just in case you're not sure. It is right there. And it is loading perfectly fine. So because of that, I know the ROM chip is good. So theoretically, we can swap motherboards on this Red something else if we can find something. Or just get new ones. And speaking of new ones, it's almost like I have one. I just wanted to verify I couldn't fix it. We are going to hot swap everything. And actually, we're not. No, this is completely different. Never mind. So I scoured the internet to see if I can find anyone that's selling replacement motherboards, and I found a couple of replacement motherboards for this and these two games as well. We've had these forever and I need new motherboards, so hopefully we can get some. I got motherboards coming for Castlevania, which the motherboards themselves, this thing only used like 4 different games used its motherboard, so... But this one's having issues saving, which we fixed, but now it's still not working. And Breath of Fire 2, we couldn't get to work at all as well. So I got motherboards coming for both of those.
Well, I didn't do an outro, so you get Editor Shane here, because that guy clearly knows how to YouTube at all. He doesn't, all right? Get better. We actually ended up getting all brand new motherboards for every single one of those Game Boy Advances, but we also got, well, something I've never done, which is we have new PCBs coming from PCBWay for one of those model motherboards. The Castlevania only used it for 4 different games, and no one has, and those games are expensive. No one has a motherboard for those, so we actually made some. We're selling the rest of them on our website when we get them. I don't know what to expect, and I don't know if they're going to work, so we got a video coming, part 2, of trying to fix Pokemon Red, Castlevania, and Breath of Fire. So I'm excited to do that. I'm not. He is. Editor Shane here, just saying thank you guys for watching as always, and don't forget to level up.